Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Radha Krishna Pada Sahaguna Lalita Sri Vishakha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurani Chate Vrindavaneshwari Prasanna Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhurevasa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go to the Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai. Shri Prabhupada. Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, Chapter 8. Prayers by Queen Kunti. Text 41. Ata Vishwasa Vishwatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Vishwasa Vishwatma Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Vishwesa Vishwatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu
Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Svakeshwane Sneha Pasam Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu Ata Therefore Vishwa Isa O Lord of the universe
Vishwa-Atman, O soul of the universe, Vishwamurti, O personality of the universal form, Swakeshu, unto my own kinsmen, may my Snehapasam, tie of affection, Imam, this, Chindi, cut off, Dritam, deep, Pandusu, for the Pandavas, Vrishnishu, for the Vishnus also. Translation and purport by Divine Grace is confirmed with 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐬 Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas, and the Vishnus. Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord. But the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off the affectionate tie from her own kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vishnus. The Pandavas are her own sons, and the Vishnus are the members of her paternal family. Krishna was equally related to both the families. Both the families required the Lord's help, because both were dependent on devotees of the Lord. Srimati Kunti Devi wished Sri Krishna to remain with her sons, the Pandavas, but by his doing so, her paternal house would be bereft of the benefit. All these partialities troubled the mind of Kunti, and therefore she desired to cut off the affectionate tie. The pure devotee cut off the limited ties of affection for his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. A typical example is the band of 6 Goswamis who follow the path of Lord Chaitanya. All of them belong to the most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher castes. But for the benefit of the mass population, they left their comfortable rooms and became mendicants. To cut off all family affection means to broaden the field of activities. Without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmin, a king, a public leader, or a devotee of the Lord. The personality of Godhead as an ideal king showed this by example. Sri Ramachandra cut off the tie of affection for his beloved wife to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. Such personalities as a Brahmana, a devotee, a king, or a public leader must be very broad-minded in discharging their respective duties. Srimati Kunti was conscious of this fact, And being weak, she prayed to be freed from such bondage of family affection. The Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe, or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his own powerful ability to cut the hard knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances, arranged by his all-powerful energy. By doing so, he causes the devotee to become completely dependent on him, and thus clears the path of his going back to God. So how far the keys? Yeah. In this chapter, it is, the heading here is Prayers by Queen Kunti. The Prophet translated it, Teachings of Queen Kunti. The Prophet turned it to Teachings. So what is Kunti Devi teaching in this text 41? This is teaching. This is teaching. The prayers he is offering to the Lord. Her prayer is teaching. Teaching the whole universe. What is her prayer? The Pandavas and the Vrishnis, they are devotees. And throughout the scriptures and our chariots, there is a constant recommendation that we should associate with devotees. We should have devotees association. As we have repeatedly mentioned or quoted the Bhakti Nota. The Bhakti Nota could have said, where will one find our fortune? We can find our fortune only with devotees. Kunti Devi has all around her devotees. The Pandavas have children. The Vrishnis from our paternal relation, they are devotees. They are pure devotees. The Vrishnis are described as Sanatana Swami. Yeah, they have all the opulences par excellence. They have no single attraction. Zero. That's a pure devotee. A pure devotee consciousness. A pure devotee life. Zero affection for everything of this material. Zero. Not only that. They are effulgent. They are effulgent. Millions of moons or sun put together. It's a shame to stand before the Krishnas. But it does not burn the eyes. It is very, very cool. The Krishnas, the Dwarkapasis. This is as Sanatana Goswami described. Yet, it seems that Kunti Devi is saying, I don't want the association. I don't want the association of my own children who are unalloyed devotees of Krishna. They are constant companions of Krishna. So, Kunti Devi is teaching us in this verse. And what is he teaching? He is teaching we should be impartial. We should be impartial. A devotee should not be partial. A devotee is equal, even to not only family members, even to
everyone.
Enemies. Even to enemies. Krishna is maintaining the devotees and non-devotees. Is that partiality? Krishna is maintaining devotees and non-devotees. He's maintaining. So devotees also has Krishna's qualities. So we exhibit qualities of Krishna that are all wonderful, wonderful qualities. Lord Krishna said what? Samaham sarva bhuteshu. I'm equal to all. I don't envy anyone. I'm equal to all. Only where I will show natural partiality, which is very, very important, is when a devotee shows love for me. I will give more attention to the person. That is natural. That is natural. If Krishna does not do that, if Krishna does not do that, then he is not Krishna, not God. Because the Supreme God, he can do that. He already expressed himself. He atamam prapadanti tampataiva bhajani. I respond to each individual's level of surrender to me. I respond accordingly. That is natural, and it should be natural in that way. A worker who comes to work a whole month and fully engaged in his or her service, and a worker who comes 10 days a month is expected to have the same salary? Why? You know partiality? You know partiality? Both of them worked. So they should be paid the same salary, is it not? Why not? They worked. The same company, they worked. Yes, they worked, but not the same effort. Therefore, if that company is experienced manager, he should pay them accordingly. That's what Krishna is doing. So Kunti Devi is praying, I want Krishna to stay with us. I want Lord Krishna to stay with us eternally. Of course, Krishna stays with him eternally. Externally, Krishna stay with them for some time, and he is going to Dwarka. Yudhishthira Maharaj has already told Krishna, please wait for more time. Krishna was there. Krishna stayed. He didn't say, no, see. How long will I stay? See? Krishna didn't say that. He stayed. Therefore, Kunti Devi doesn't want to say, stay more. Why are you going there? Why are you going there? You should stay with us. One day in New Vrindavan, Sri Prabhupada visited New Vrindavan. So devotees are very happy. Oh, good day, happy. We're jubilating and having Kirtan, like having a nice prasadam and good association. So when Papa wanted to leave, another Swami blocked him. Prabhupada, please don't go. You should stay here. Stay with us, don't go. What is that? It's affection, isn't it? It's affection. Please, Gurudev, don't leave us. Please stay here so we can make advancement. It's all right to think like that. It's all right to think like that. What about others? What about other temples? They don't have affection also for the Guru? So if your affection is keeping him and forgetting others, what will happen to them? Is that bona fide affection? No. It means selfishness. It is no more affection. It is selfishness. So Kunti Devi is praying to Lord Krishna, cut off this selfishness. She's saying, please cut off this selfishness. I don't want to be selfish. Therefore, I will not say, please, always stay here. Don't go to Dwaraka. No, I cannot say like that. Cut off this selfishness in my life. And Prabhupada said here, a devotee is what? But an animal. A devotee has a broad mind, not crippled mind. A devotee is not crippled-minded. He's a broad-minded person. It's a devotee. Broad-minded. Why broad-minded? Because devotee want the message I'm getting should be spread to everybody. Message should be spread. That is the magnanimity of the devotee. And Baba gave an example. A pure devotee cut off the limited ties of affection. See the way Prabhupada put it? He said what? Limited tie of affection. Limited tie of affection. For his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. That's a devotee. If it is a genuine affection, devotees who have genuine affection want to spread the love of God into everybody. He will not keep it to himself or herself. If it is selfishness, so sometimes we should be clear of what we are doing. Is it affection I'm showing or selfishness I'm showing? We should be clear about that. So Kunti Devi is teaching this. We should not be selfish and call it affection. Affection is different. One who is affectionate is broad-minded, want to share whatever he has. I was asking the Bhakti Sastri student, a fortunate person, how do you know someone who is fortunate? How do you know someone who is fortunate? How do you know someone who is fortunate? How do you know? It's chanting. In association. One who is fortunate. How do you know?
The one who is grateful.
Grateful? Very grateful, yes. Oh, very wonderful. Fortunate person. How do you know someone is fortunate? That is a fortunate soul. How do you know? He wants to make others fortunate like himself. Is it not? He will spread his fortune to everyone. Yes. So, the typical example is a band of 6 Goswamis who followed the path of Lord Chaitanya. See the Goswami, look at the austerity they perform. All of them belong to the most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher caste, but for the benefit of the mass of population, they left their comfortable homes and became mendicants. They were so renowned that even Rupa and Sanga Goswami, who are brothers, they never sleep under one tree together. They will sleep separately. This tree, that tree. That is how renowned they are. Not even together. They stay that tree and stay this tree. That is their life. But see where they came from. See where they came from. Have you seen Sanatana Goswami's jail? Jail. You have seen? Eh? Is that a jail or palace? That's a palace. Yes. That's a palace. That is the jail. What of the house? Eh? When I went there, so this is Sanatana Goswami's jail. I said, this is jail? I mean, how many people have this kind of a house? Our bulldozer cannot bulldoze it. The quality. But when you look at the Christian's jail, it's jail. It's real jail. And Kamsa's jail, it's really jail. It's prison. Sanatana Goswami, it's a palace. Magnificent building. But he gave it up as a trash to go and sleep under a tree. Is that normal? Is that normal? Huh? Who wants to suffer in this world? Who? 40. Everybody wants to join. So we are making a lot of effort, committing all kinds of sinful activities. For what? For the purpose of enjoyment. But see, they left all this as a trash to go and stay in Vrindavan. Yes. Under a tree. Under a tree means what? When we say under a tree, they say under a tree. What are we looking at? Comfort? A person who runs into under a tree when rain is falling is a fool. Understand? If rain is falling and he runs under a tree, they're a fool. Why? The rain may not beat you for some time, but the leaf will collect all the water when they drop it on you. It is more than when you are inside the rain inside. So, the Goswami was saying under a tree. It means that the rain would beat them more. And during winter, they would suffer more. But they passed through all these things to write the books and establish temples for us to come and enjoy. That is sacrifice they made. And what is our own sacrifice? What is our own sacrifice for the next? They did this sacrifice for us. What is our own sacrifice for the next? We say prasad. Prasad is my stomach, not for somebody else. So what sacrifice are we making for others?
We are distributing the goods.
Right? Distribute the goods. Rupa Goswami, the Sri Goswami, they were distributing. They were distributing everything. They were distributing. Prabhupada were distributing goods. A lot of struggle. To establish Christian consciousness. Not only establishing Christian consciousness, they give the process of maintaining what they have. So see our scriptures. So nice. Very sweet. With this knowledge, with this nectar, with this prasad, this prasad, we will have the potency to keep this movement on potently. So let us follow what they have done. To cut off all family affection means to broaden the field of activities. Without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmana, a king, a public leader, or a devotee of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to his great brothers. And the letter is full of insult. The mission of our spiritual master is divine grace like Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Goswami. It's not about ringing bell and offering incense in the temple. It's not insult. It is about going to the field to do what? To broadcast the message of the Chaitanya Devi. That's about this, that's why they call Chaitanya. We call Chaitanya Devi, Prabhupada. Chaitanya Devi. That is a duty of broad-minded people, to expand Lord Krishna's message, glories, all over the world. And the Kripana cannot do it. The Kripana cannot do it. Kripana is a crippled-minded person, a selfish person who does not care for others' existence. It's just about me, selfishness. And this is what is making devotees important. What makes devotees important? Huh? Selfishness makes devotees important. Selfishness. We may not understand it, but try to understand it. Selfishness makes one impotent. There is no empowerment for a selfish person. Empowerment is for those who are selfless. Selflessness, that is Krishna consciousness. Broad-minded. So Prabhupada said, they cannot be Brahmana, a king, a public leader, or devotee of the Lord. A crippled-minded person. Only a broad-minded person is a representative of Krishna. It's because Krishna wants to spread his blessing, his message to all his parts and parcels. So our fortune is to help spread this message of Krishna, to make it available for Krishna. And Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, did Krishna say Bhagavad Gita? Huh? No one is dear to me in the past, in the present, or in the future. Than the person who is what? Teaching this knowledge to others. But who is teaching this knowledge to devotees is my favorite. It's my favorite. We want to be dear to somebody, is it not? Is it not true? That is what we are looking for. Why people are committing suicide? Because they feel they are not loved. Somebody loved them, nobody loves them. So what am I living for? Let me terminate this life. But people who feel loved would never think of suicide. So we want to be loved and beloved. And Krishna is teaching us the way to become his favorite. Krishna is teaching us how to become his favorite. Give this knowledge to the devotees. You become very dear to me. Very dear. Give this knowledge. The prophet is saying it here. The personality of Godhead as an ideal king showed this by example in his incarnation as Lord Ramachandra Bhagavan, cut off the tie of affection for his beloved wife to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. Such personalities are Brahmana, a devotee, a king, a public leader, would be very broad-minded in discharging their respective duties. Broad-minded. We should be open, ready to suffer for others. That is the easiest way to get blessing from Krishna. The easiest way to get blessing is to suffer for others. Take risk for others. Immediately, what will attract the mercy of Krishna? The easiest way to attract the mercy of Krishna is by taking risk. Yeah? Taking risk means we are broad-minded. Want to spread Krishna's message as much as possible. When devotees ask the Prabhupada, it is true that a disciple cannot pay the spiritual master. It is true the devotee cannot pay. As like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, we are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Dhyan. Dhyan. We are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Dhyan. P-E-O-N.
Yeah.
Means a debtor who cannot pay his debt. That's the meaning. So how do we make attempt to do that? Prabhupada said, then if you want to make attempt to appreciate what I've done, you should preach vigorously as I'm doing. You should do what? Preach vigorously as I'm doing. Prabhupada recommends this. You should preach. My spiritual master told me, preach for me. Preach, I don't like to talk. I'm not a talker. I don't like talking. I'm a thinker. I think, but I don't speak. But the Guru says you speak. I say, if I speak, I will offend people. Speak. Okay, so I'm trying to do that. I'm just trying to do it. It's an order I'm following. Within myself, I will not talk to anybody. Yes, but that is way to look at it when you follow. Even though we don't like it, yesterday we discussed it. Something which is favorable. Even if you don't like it, do it. And something which is unfavorable, if you like it, don't do it. That becomes devotional service. It is an austerity for us to get purified. That's what I'm trying to do. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and being weak, she prayed to be freed from such bondage of family affection. The Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe, or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his all-pervading ability to cut the heart knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances and arranged by his all-powerful energy. By doing so, he causes the devotee to become completely dependent on him and thus clears the path for his going back to Godhead. It's the whole God. Comment? Question? Yes.
Yesterday evening's class, the devotee is naturally deep and humble. And he always gives positive responses in many challenging situations.
Yes.
He only focuses on the cause, not on the instrument.
Yes.
My question is, when we are in such situation, it becomes difficult to give a positive response because we are under some pressure or our feelings are getting hurt badly. So, how do we remember what pleases Krishna, what pleases Guru, and give the positive response that will help us in our advancement?
In the school, most of their students, which of the students passes exam? Which student passes exam? On who? Study. Is it not? All of you know the answer. The one who studied what the teacher is giving. Similarly, a devotee who will remember is one who has listened very carefully to the teachings and in putting that into practice. Those who are from medical background, you know, the first thing you're going to be taught as a doctor, what is the first thing? What is the first thing to be taught as a doctor? Dealing with the dead body. Not live body, the dead body. It's a dead body. So, if one is going to look at dead body, he won't be a doctor. If we are going to look externally, it wouldn't be a good devotee. We will not be a good devotee. We will not be a good devotee. To be a good devotee is one who listens, and after listening, you practice. Practice. Yesterday we were talking about technologies in Krishna consciousness to be applied, right? So the application of what we are hearing regularly will make us strong to remember when the time of examination comes. The time of examination, we will remember because we have practiced. If we did not practice, we will not remember. We will see only the instrument, we forget completely the cause. After we have complicated the issue, then it is after the complication we remember that, I was in a class when this thing was said. So please, let us practice what we hear every day. Let us practice what we hear every day. This is not an exercise. Not an exercise. Not a drama. We practice and we go and perform on stage. This is a big science. It's a big science. Christian consciousness. Big science. We get the theory, we go to the lab to do what? Practicals. For practicals. So we are getting the theory. Please, we should not hang on the theory because the theory will not make anyone perfect. Just as philosophy alone will not make one a pure devotee. No one becomes a pure devotee just by philosophy. So the Papa changed us by the practical dealings with love and affection for us. After he finished his lecture, Papa would take one apple and cut it into pieces and take one, pass it to the devotees. They became affected by that. The philosophy, they were not hearing much. But his love, which he distributed through the piece of apple. It's a piece of apple. He demonstrated his love. Piece of apple. Everybody became transformed. philosophy properly and apply it properly. Bishop Apple made that. That is the process. We should hear and apply. Then the strength will come. Yes. So when the time comes, one day some two devotees, they came to me, they were shouting at each other, they were shouting, they came to me. I sat down there. They don't say a word to them. No, you know what they were doing? They want to add me to their passion. If I say, stop now, they will not stop. You say, stop now. So what do I do? I also add to their passion. I'll become the third person in their nonsense. So I sat and they were looking at them. I didn't do anything. When they got tired, they left. That's how they solved the problem themselves. So the next time I saw them, I told them, you people are fools. You cannot add me to your foolishness. You want to add me to your passion. You don't have power to do that. So this thing requires inner strength. And the inner strength comes from practice. Sadhana. Very vigorously. Yesterday we talked about rigid sadhana. Yesterday. I'm answering your question for 3 days. You asked me a question. I'm answering you for 3 days now. We're talking about rigid practice. You're not here. Yes. As devotees?
We should practice devotional service in association with Vaishnavas,
Yes.
yes? So, but how we should do it without getting affection? I don't understand this one. Like, Kunti should pray, she does not want, even in her family, they all devotees, they still don't want this. But we should practice and we should not get attachment to affection. But it means we should do everything by ourselves. And why we also raise families, we should not do it with families because it is one much less. But at the same time, acharyas, they have this version we are singing and we understand. They are new of time, so they are lamenting that some devotees and Vaishnavas are not available for association, so I don't understand this.
We were explaining the meaning, the teachings Kunti Devi is giving in this verse. I think we did explain it. Kunti Devi is not saying the devotees should not be broad-minded, should not have affection. Kunti Devi didn't say that. What she's saying is, I don't want to be partial. I will not deprive the Vrishnis from having Krishna with the Pandavas. I don't want Krishna to stay only with the Pandavas and forget the Vrishnis. This is what she's teaching. And we explain that we should understand what is affection and what is selfishness. Do you know? We explain. Selfishness is not affection. One who has affection would like to share the Krishna's mercy with others. Will not keep it to himself or herself. Will share it. That's affection. If it is not affection, if it is selfishness we are exhibiting as affection, then it will show in that way that we want to keep our spiritual master to ourselves. Nobody should have access because we are so special. That is no more affection, it is selfishness. We give an example of what happened Prabhupada's pastime in New Vrindavan. And Prabhupada told, no, we cannot do like that. We cannot block a special master. And when he realized, he cleared the way. So Prabhupada continued to travel to other places. This is what Kunti Devi is teaching. We should not be selfish. She is not hating, she is not renouncing devotees association. She is not. She is not becoming for devoting hatred for devotees. No. She doesn't want to be partial. She wants to be broad-minded. So she's praying to us. She's teaching us how we should behave as a devotee. We have to be with devotees. We quoted Bhakti Thakur explaining our fortune with devotees. We have to be with devotees. Yesterday, we also quoted 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐵. 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐵 said, now I will chant my holy name with devotees. So he went to Badrik Ashram and practiced chanting with other saintly persons in the association. He never gave the association of pure devotees. He stayed with them throughout and perfected his life and went back to God. It is with devotees. Affection is with them. If we have no affection, then you are not a devotee. If you are a devotee, it is affection. Even demons, they have affection for. Right? You don't see tigers eating tiger. Is it not? They will eat other animals, but not their own, not their own children. They don't do that. They have. So affection is a natural quality of the soul. And as we continue to grow, we want to understand what is pure natural affection, like Kunti Devi has. Then we will apply that, and that is what will make us different from non-devotees. We have affection, and we show that even to non-devotees. If you don't have affection, how can you preach to somebody? Preaching to somebody means you care. You want to help the person. That is affection. If I don't care for you, if I don't love you, you do something wrong, I will keep quiet. Because I want you to go to hell. If I love you, if you do something, I say, no, don't do this. No, don't do this. No, don't do this. Why? If you love somebody, you get angry when a person does something. If you don't like a person, you do something, you feel happy. Because that's the way the person is going to get off the way. But if you love a person, you'll be angry. Why you do nonsense? Like, don't do this. That is love. So pure devotees, they chastise. That is their affection for us. The parent will correct the children. No, this is nonsense. Because they want the best from the children. So this is what the Kunti Devi is teaching us. No selfishness. Make sense? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai.